Hello, all of you vaingloriously wonderful people, and welcome back to Timberborn, part 31 of our Emberpelts series. And this is going to be the finale. Whether I get everything done or not, this is going to be the finale. What we're starting off with today is about 2.5 minutes of just a quick building montage of getting all of the bot part manufacturers as well as the bot manufacturers themselves, or bot assemblers, I forget what they're called, but getting all of that built out in a big stack. I just stacked them one on top of the other and then put tubeways for them to get up and down. Like, that's literally the only way in and out of this area is through the tubeways. It's not connected via a path or anything anywhere, just tubeways. And once that is finished, once all this gets built and filled in, and I did do a lot of fill in because I didn't see any need to leave big holes where I had blasted out previously. I wanted to kind of make it look a little better, a little nicer. So we did fill in a lot of the terrain in areas that I wasn't going to be using. Underneath the area to the far left right now is storage underneath there, and the same to the far right where they're starting to fill in. Once they got all that done, then I started building up on this next level. I just wanted to leave enough space for them to walk across the top here. But once I get all of this finished, I began it took a few hours, but not too terribly long process of slowly transitioning beavers out of jobs and transitioning bots in. And when we get into some live gameplay in just under a minute, 100% of the jobs are going to be filled by bots. The beavers are on permanent vacation. They can just sit back and relax. I did also, because I ran into some weird freezing issues with the game, I did, as beavers just naturally, died from old age, remove some housing to try to decrease the population to see if I could get better performance, because I'm not really sure how much we're going to get here in just a minute of my next project, because the game was still just freezing periodically and not just at autosaves either. It's really unfortunate, but we'll wrap this up and then we will transition into some live gameplay in just a moment. And here we are in live gameplay, and this is the area we were just watching get built, all completed. Trees have had time to grow because, well, like I said, I spent a lot of time letting the bots take over all the jobs. And you can see the beaver population has decreased significantly by about 200. There were some underground homes way over here that have been eliminated, and the spot where they were has been filled back in. They were like, they ran right here. There was a big walkway here and there was one on each side. So I left these that we originally built, got rid of all the others. And then over in the other district, I would just pause the buildings temporarily, or not temporarily, but just pause them all, except for right there at the bottom. I left a base. And then once they were all vacated, got rid of them. This is not solid with the levees. It's actually hollow on the inside and just have platforms back there going up to give support, because I didn't want to lose the Flaming Unity. That was the main consideration there. And I just realized the Flaming Unity does not cover the whole recreation area. That's okay. It's fine. Oh, I thought it was going to freeze again. I thought it was autosave that was causing the freezing, but it's not. So the goal with getting bots in is I wanted to... Oh, we have a lot of unemployed bots. I wanted to let the beavers sit back, relax. I once again don't have wind noise and all that. I don't know what's going on with that. But let the beavers just be able to relax and get their well-being maxed, and make sure that they were then able to get to all of the recreation. And indeed, I mean, like, there's some that are like 629 out of 631, but it's not due to a lack of recreational opportunities. It's due to the fact that, there's just only so many hours in the day for them to go play and all the different things. None of these are so far off of the full 631 that I'm really worried about. The only thing we don't have is complete coverage for the Wonder Uh-oh. There we go, the wonder of fire. You can see we get pretty good coverage over into here, but this whole side is lacking. So what I'm going to do is pause the game. There we go. And we're going to construct some of those. And I want them to be so that the workers can walk right in off of this level. But I don't want to do it with dirt. I want to do platforms going up. And I'm kind of two different minds about how to do that. One is I could just stack like, they're a 7x7 building. So I could like stack up a single platform up and then bring out the 6th platform, or actually do it 2 levels shy of it, and then bump back with the 6x1s, and that would give me the 7, and then do 7 across. That's one option, or I could just like go straight to like this. And I think this might be the better solution, doing it this way. I just want to, yeah, see, that's not going to be tall enough. So we would have to get rid of that. And actually, you know what would be even smarter is to start with something like that. And then the next one we need to go there. 1, 2, 3, yep. And then we could come out like this and like that. Come across with a 6. Okay, that's more than 7 then. Did I just put a 5 there? Is that what happened? No, that's 6. Okay. So we only needed to go to here. So this is why we're paused. No, we're paused because if I'm not paused, I can't get anything done. The only thing about doing this is they're not going to be able to reach up to that, I don't think. Come on. Oh, God, where do we go? I don't think they're going to reach up to that or that one because they can't reach down through, but we'll deal with that if that is the case. And then if I come in like that, that gets us our 7, but I actually wanted this to be over by 1. That's why my counting was off. Okay, there we go. Now we're in the right spot. So this will give me the 6 that we need, but then I need to come out by 7, and that's where it gets a little tricky. So I think instead of doing that right there, what we should do is another 2. Then it's going to be up 1 too high, isn't it? I don't know. Let's look and see. So if I come up like that and then go there with that, then yeah, see, then if I do the 6, it's going to be up too high. Okay, so one more redo here. Instead of doing that, we go with a 1, and then the 2, and then the 2, and I can just put like a dirt block in if we need it. But then I can get, oh, I'm still off by 1. Oh, that's because this is too close. That needed to come out by 1. There we go. That needs to go like that, and then that will give me my 7 out because we got 6 this way and then 1 right here, and then right up against it we can just do overhangs like that, and then we can construct the Wonder of Fire like right on top, and they'll be able to go in and do other stuff right there. But like I said, I don't know that they're going to be able to get to all of this. So this end worked fine. It's the other end's a little problematic. If I delete that, what are we getting? We're going to lose a lot of stuff here, aren't we? Yeah. But that's okay because I'd rather than be able to reach up to what I need them to get to. So we would come back up like that, and then find the one we need like that, and then go 1 more, right? Yep. And then that's not as high as I need it to be. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. So how do we make this work easily? Well, now that we're up here, we'll have blocks coming in, so I don't even really need that too, but I'm going to put it in anyway. And then with the dirt blocks up here, then we'll get to this to build it, I believe. Oh, that went out one too far. Get rid of that one, and then we can throw the Wonder of Fire up there. So then we can do something similar down here on this end, because I want 2 of them, just like we did in the other district. So we did a 2, and a 2, and then we did a 6, and we did like that. Perfect. And then that one there, and a 2, and then a 2, and then another 2, and then we did a 6, and then we did dirt blocks. This is going to take forever to get built, just because I can't run the game very fast. Why is it saying no? Is it there? I just didn't have it lined up right. Yeah, these are gonna take a while to get built. I don't know that the freezings continue to have it since I lowered the number of beavers that we had. I haven't restarted the game. I had captured the footage you're going to see at the end, and then immediately went in and started tinkering with beaver population. So we'll see what happens, but that's not a good sign, just unpausing the game and having it just really freak out. I don't know that I can even run it on 2. 3 is a non-starter. So we're just going to have to do it on 2, and I will just do some basic shots of this getting built. We've already seen these getting built before, so we don't need to sit through a long montage. So we'll just do a minute or so here of some of the infrastructure, and then the final one getting put in. So here we go. And they're complete. We have Phoenix Essence loaded up into all of them, and we even have bots ready to work. We are starting to see bots break down. This is the first time that since I've created them, they seem to last forever. We were up to like 980 before we saw the first one break down. Granted, for a while I had a dozen different bot assemblers going, so what we're gonna do is wait for a little bit of a darker scene here, and then we're gonna launch all of these and then move into another segment of today's video. So I'm just gonna wait for a little bit darker. There we go. We have a nice lovely evening scene, and we can set off the flames. It does look, you know what, somebody left it in the comments that I should do this at when it was a little darker, and you were right. You were right. What I realized, though, as I was sitting offside, I meant for this one to be a little farther over to the left. Oh, well, it's fine. It is absolutely fine. I like that they spin back around. Very cool. So, what has that done for our well-being? It is now a full 75. It's been at 75 before, so we didn't get, like, any notifications or anything. But, man, look at the well-being. Just absolutely absolutely through the roof. I dig it. So we're going to shift gears for just a moment, because I want to take a look back at just our progress. What I've done is gone through the majority of the videos, not every single one of them. I think it's 25 out of the previous 30. And this is like at the end of each video, just 10 seconds, just highlighting how much has changed. And oh my goodness, like I don't even recognize the place anymore. I mean, like, look at this. We were in this tiny little valley, these huge cliffs and mountains up to either side. And it just, the river just meanders through. We had two different bad tide sources or bad water sources coming from the different mountains. We've got the one here that you can see, and there's one kind of like behind us to the left. That was permanent. And it's just, it's hard to believe that this is the same place. And just going through and looking at as the first district built up and we got the resources that we needed to then, as you can see, we've already started blasting. It did not take very long into the series before we started cutting out a huge chunk of the hill and built the first iteration of the water wheels with bad tide or bad water that we then changed a couple episodes later based upon your feedback, and I greatly appreciate there. We've already got the storage that was elevated underway, and housing has shifted for the first district over into its permanent location. All of their most of their production's over there. Not all of their production's over there. Just storage is left to move. Now the storage is gone, and we've got the crops in, and boom, just that fast. It took a while, but you know, it's there. And here we're letting things get grown in for District 2 to then take over where District 1 had previously been. We have a little bit of storage for the second district for when they move in, just getting them ready. You can see the old positions of the district centers, and then we're underway with District 2, which would be the big project of this series. Yeah, sure, blasting out that big old hole over there and building that big reservoir. That was all definitely, you know, big projects in and of themselves, but nothing compared to what we then did with a second reservoir for dual purposes of even more water wheels and storage for even more water to help keep the aqueducts for our tiered district flowing. And it's just crazy. There we've got the extension going, we've got our first little bit of aqueduct coming in, and then it just goes from there. This is where I kind of didn't do every single video from this on out, just because some of them were just more levels of this going in, and I thought, you know, it's a recap and it wasn't all that long ago, so we can just kind of like quickly go through it. And there, I've lost all of the ambient sounds again. Really weird. But whatever. I don't know what's going on with that, to be honest, but it's looking really good, and it came along, it came together way better than I had anticipated. Like, I had a vision in my head when I started out, and it's the first time in Timberborn that I really feel like what I had in my head is now a reality in the game. It took a lot of planning and a lot of thought, a lot of trial and error, but in the end, we got there. And as we move into our final clip, which is where we started the day, we're going to jump back into just a moment of live gameplay to wrap things up. And here we are, back into the live game, and wow, it's been a ride. Almost 1,000 bots. We were up over 800 beavers at one point, but like I said, I scaled that back, and just I'm really pleased with it. I've really enjoyed the Emberpelts mod. Their aversion to water has definitely been a differentiating factor, because normally you get to send them down in the water, not worried about it. They were content to build. Matter of fact, they loved it because they got wet fur, but not the Emberpelts. So I had to, completely change how I approached even going in to building a lot of different things. So yeah, it's been great. And then of course there are different food production chains and other buildings that they have available have just it's been nothing but a joy with this faction. Oh, my drought has ended. I didn't even know we were in a drought, to be honest, because our water source is so balanced that I don't even notice anymore. Yeah, it's been cool. So Emberpelts. Timberborn will be back on my channel, though it's going to be just a couple of weeks, maybe 3, before I get into looking at 1.0. I have a lot coming up with both Astroneer and GTA Online. An Astroneer update will be out in just a few days after this video goes live, and then a couple weeks after that, GTA has a big update as well. So I'm going to have a lot on my plate from those 2 games. And I really want to give 1.0 the attention instead of just kind of rushing through. I really want to spend some time getting into it and looking at the new things, especially that time bomb thing and all the different features that have been added. It's kind of surprised there wasn't a 3rd faction added, but maybe that's to come with 1.0. But that's the plan. It will be a few weeks, though. It'll probably be mid-December, maybe even the first part of January before Timberborn is back. But it will be back. I love the cute little beaver game just way too much for it to go away on my channel. But that's the plan. It will be vanilla. I'm not going to do any mods for 1.0. I want to get kind of the vanilla experience again, kind of, you know, reacclimate to that with 1.0, and then that series in the future, who knows. But it's been a blast with this one, and I can't wait to dig into 1.0. But until next time, I'm Brandon, reminding you to stay vainglorious.